Welcome in, race fans, to another Tuesday evening of All-American Racing League as we pick back up with the Truckers Feed America series presented by Top Sail Trucking. We appreciate you guys tuning in to Faded TV here on Twitch.com. Don't forget to visit these guys on Facebook.com at All-American Racing League. We're going to be tackling Dover International Speedway. This track is 1 mile long. You see the banked curving there. Should make for a pretty fast race here tonight. But one thing I did notice, carrying all that momentum out of that high banking, cars getting really loose on corner exits. So something to take a look at here tonight. You see Kyle Martin there almost touching the wall there. In the practice session. Got a couple of minutes before we head over into qualifying. Use this time to thank the partners of the league, Top Sail Trucking, and of course, the broadcast partner, Mcquaid Setup Shops. Use code FADEDTV for 15% off checkout. Not going to get much more of a discount than that right here at Faded TV. For all your open setups, coaching, subscriptions, get a hold of Mcquaid Setups today. Kyle Martin right now with an impressive 22.33, leading the pack tonight. David Lerfano closely behind him, 22.36. Chad Snyder in third, the 22.4. Patrick Mcquaid in fourth, and Charlie Dickey in fifth. Two Faded TV drivers in the top five. Certainly gets me excited up here in the booth here. 4 minutes left of the practice session. We'll see if anybody can find any more speed out there and knock off Kyle Martin in that top spot. Kyle doing a lot of work during the week. He's really stepped up the time that he spends on the simulator. He's in an ARCA series on Thursdays. I believe leading points in the truck series. So we'll see if he can carry that momentum here into the ORR Lawn Care 150 at Dover. ORR Lawn Care, their sister company, or their sister league, I should say, running the ORR Lawn Care Truck Series on Sunday nights. Speaking of points, though, let's focus here on the Cup points. David Lerfano coming off the win at Indy last week, passing David Herrera, his teammate, on the last lap, on the last turn. He's up there all by himself in the point standings, but only by 2. He's got 238 points. Of course, that comes along with 4 wins for David Lerfano. David Herrera, we talked about last week, being up so high in the points for consistency. Every race this season in the next gen, he's been in the top 4. Patrick Mcquaid in third with 230. Joshua Hetrick fourth with 196. Tyrone Yo still enjoying himself a phenomenal season. Tied with Larry Garnes at 178 apiece. Charles Dickey crept his way up into 6th with 162 points. Brian Ludlow, Chad Snyder, and Cameron Harris. Cameron right there on that cutoff line with 154 points. Outside of that cutoff line, John Higgins and Fred Houle, 134 points for John. So he's got a little bit of work to do. He's 20 points back behind Cameron Harris. And excuse me, I think it's Cameron Harris who's leading the points in the truck. So I'm glad I saw his name be able to self-correct that in the ORR Lawn Care Truck Series. Of course, ORR Lawn Care being tonight's race sponsor. Kyle Martin still holding on to this top spot here, 22.33, as you see on the NASCAR tower to the left of your screen. Don't think we'll need a track map here tonight in this mile-long oval. Should be some tight racing here at Dover. as we come upon that 60 seconds to go in practice. Looks like that top five sticking around: Kyle Martin, David Lerfano, Chad Snyder, Patrick Mcquaid, and Fred Houle. So we'll be looking to see if that 99 car of Martin can carry that lap into qualifying. David Lerfano, 4 wins on the season. It's been a dominant one for that Lucky Dog detail in number 8. Of course, coming off of a championship last season in the current gen cars. These guys making the switch over to the next gen this season. A lot of positive feedback. Even the guys that are struggling a little bit have positive feedback on these next gen cars. Of course, IRL, they've been testing these at the Roval the past couple of days, and this car looks great. Phenomenal. And I think it's going to add for some really fun racing IRL, as it has here on iRacing.com, the official simulator of NASCAR. So that's going to be it for the practice session. Get into some qualifying. Tyrone Yo Jr., Joshua Hetrick making their way onto the track right now. John Higgins Jr., that driver we talked about right below that cut line, 20 points he has to make up on Cameron Harris, who is here with us tonight. Adam Angerstein as well. Jay Hub in the 51 Ford joins us here tonight as well. Good friend of the broadcast. We wish him good luck here tonight, along with all the drivers here with All American Racing League. Pretty good partnership that we've been able to grow over the last 2 seasons with these guys and collab, and very active Discord. I say this on all the broadcasts for all the leagues that I feel validated. If you guys come across this VOD on YouTube or here on Twitch and you're looking for a league, All American Racing League, always recruiting. Probably start you right there in that truck series on Sunday nights. They do allow, though, practice on Monday nights if you're in that truck league to practice with these guys and maybe get an early call-up with the Cup cars. Let's take a look at some on-track qualifying session. Let's start with Chad Snyder here. Well, it looks like maybe we are just missing that qualifying session. David Lerfano. Charlie Dickey running in that top 5 in the practice session right now. Looks like he's falling down to 7th right now, 22.64. David Lerfano in that top spot, 22.46. Tied with Assault Motorsports driver Chad Snyder. Cameron Harris jumps up the leaderboard here in qualifying in his Toyota Camry. They're in 3rd with a 22.51. Adam Angerstein, 22.55. And John Higgins Jr., 22.57 to round out the top 5. Kyle Martin actually dropping all the way to 8th, 22.64. So quite off the pace that he had in practice. I believe everybody's done with qualifying. Maybe we can push this qualifying session through. 2 minutes left. Be a little bit of a long wait. I remember watching Dover growing up as a NASCAR fan. I always loved this track. Always loved that, when they have the bridges over them or just anything unique about them. Dover, certainly a unique track in itself. Again, it's a mile long. These banks are very, very high throughout the corners. You're going to be carrying a lot of speed. I think we're going to see some really good racing here at Dover. Yeah, so that is going to be all the official results for qualifying. Get the official grid when the qualifying session is over. Right now, just waiting for that timer to hit triple zeros in the qualifying session. We'll get these boys out on the track and get them green flag racing. If anybody out there looking to sponsor the broadcast, please reach out to me here on Twitch. You can whisper me, or you can find me on Facebook at Faded TV, Media and Broadcasting. Always looking for partnerships and sponsors of the broadcast. Goes a long way reaching out to other leagues and being able to promote ourselves in a professional manner. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to reach out. Other broadcasting pages that you may want to follow: Freaky Fast Broadcasting, which I do voice on Saturday nights, and LSR TV as well. We just picked, or they just picked me up, I should say. We didn't pick them up. So a couple of broadcasting companies that we're going to be teaming up with: Freaky Fast Broadcasting, look them up on Facebook, and LSR TV as well, as we expand our broadcasting career, branching out. But of course, Faded TV being the start of all of this. And here is our All-American Racing League Truckers Feed America Series official grid here at Dover. David Lerfano, Chad Snyder, Cameron Harris, Adam Angerstein out there in row 2. John Higgins Jr. and Fred Houle, 5 and 6. Charlie Dickey, 7 and 8. Kyle Martin, or 6 and 7, excuse me. Kyle Martin, 8. Joshua Hetrick, 9. Patrick Mcquaid right there in that 10th spot. Larry Garnes in 11th. And David Herrera with a little bit of a slow qualifying time there in 12th. Remember, he's second in points. Does have a win this season. Tyrone Yo Jr., 13th. And Jim Hubble in that 14th spot. So David Herrera, a little bit of work to do here in the early going at Dover International. He's going to have to work his way up all the way from that 12th spot. It's rare to see him outside the top 10 in the qualifying session. We'll see just how well he performs in the back of the pack this time around. There is your pole sitter, David Lerfano. Again, 4 wins this season. He's been nothing but dominant in these next-gen cars. And it looks like Houle maybe taking a EOL there. He's going to drop all the way up to 14th. So that's going to send everybody up a spot as we take our formation lap. Good qualifying session by Chad Snyder. We've touched base on this for a couple of weeks there, really trying to find his footing here with the next gen. He had a really good run at Indy. It looks like he's going to be bringing that momentum into Dover here tonight. Also does some part-time broadcasting for us here at Faded TV, so we always appreciate the efforts on that 26 car. And here comes the green flag. Pace truck going to be off here in a moment. Pace car off. Coming out of turn 4. It's only a mile track here, so these front stretches, I think we should see a lot of action here, especially if these guys can get a good draft going. 150 laps here at Dover. Green flag. David Lerfano onto the inside. Chad Snyder, though, getting a good run on the outside down into turn 1. And Chad Snyder out to an early lead. That outside line, he just ran the heck out of that. Cameron Harris up to 3rd. John Higgins Jr. behind him at 4th. Kyle Martin up 3 spots right off the rip into 5th. I'm not too sure if maybe some guys spun or was just sleeping on the restart, but already John Higgins Jr., Kyle Martin finding some big spots here on lap 1 in the middle of lap 2. Onto the backstretch, Kyle Martin, John Higgins Jr. on the inside. Kyle glued to that back bumper of the 19. Now actually fades up a little bit high. You see Adam Angerstein joining him up there as well, almost getting into the wall. Charlie Dickey behind him, teammates with Kyle Martin. 77 of Patrick Mcquaid, David Herrera. These guys already up 3 and 4 spots respectively. So David Herrera jumping from 12th to 8th immediately. Unfortunately for Fred Houle, yeah, he did take an EOL, so he dropped 8 spots right off the rip. He's back there in 14th. Chad Snyder, though, up here in that first spot, about a quarter of a second behind David Herrera. It looks like Lerfano, getting a little bit loose there off corner exit. That's going to give Cameron Harris a little bit of an opportunity to make some ground up there on him. You see just how fast these laps are. Already lap 5. You see the momentum these guys carrying around Dover. This is going to be a fast race right here. It's going to take some precision, some throttle control once these tires start to wear down as well. John Higgins Jr. looking to get on the inside of Cameron Harris. Doesn't quite have the pull right now for that. That's certainly something to keep an eye on right now. Cameron Harris under the wall, and that's what is going to allow the 19 and maybe the 99 of Kyle Martin to also take a peek out of the inside there. We'll see if Martin's able to pull off that pass. I think Cameron Harris was able to recover quite nicely, but yeah, he's going to lose some spots. Chad Snyder going to lose a ton of spots. He's now moved back down to 4th. David Lerfano, your new leader. John Higgins Jr. in 2nd with Kyle Martin chasing him down.
Yeah.
Looks like Fred Houle jumped to the pits there. Not too sure what happened. See if we can see a quick replay. Oh, just getting on that inside line. It looks like the damage on that front right there a little bit. Probably just got into the wall, trying to recover. Unfortunately, not a good start for Fred Houle, as he does take the tow to pit road. So in the early going, down quite a bit of laps there. I would assume maybe some internet connections there is what sent Fred to the back to begin with, and maybe still fighting those internet connections. But back up front, David Lerfano not only taking the lead, but he is forming a pretty big gap between him and John Higgins Jr. here on lap 9. Almost 3/4 of a second for that number 8 car, who's been just unstoppable this season. Still waiting for somebody to kind of kick this guy off the throne, but nobody's really been able to do that this season, and he's out to an early lead. David Herrera up 7 spots, up to 5th. The concern was not a very fast qualifying time, starting P12th. He's already up 7 spots behind Chad Snyder. Charlie Dickey dropping back a couple of spots there. He was at 4th at one time. He falls back to 6th. Patrick Mcquaid up 3 spots in his 77 machine, up to 7th. Tyrone Yo Jr. also not qualifying that well, starting P13. He's found himself up 4 spots inside the top 10. They're in 9th. Joshua Hetrick from 9th to 10th. Adam Angerstein with a huge drop-off since the beginning of this race. He's down 7 spots into 11th. Jim Humble and Larry Garnes hanging out in the back right now. You see Garnes on the inside of J-Hub right there, and a clean pass right there from Larry Garnes. So now the battle for second. Kyle Martin, John Higgins Jr. And believe it or not, actually gaining a little bit on David Lerfano. If they can get that down to about a half second, start working together a little bit. But, I mean, you see just how much speed these guys get off corner exit. Got to be careful trying to chase that rabbit, not overdrive your car, especially this early on into the race. Lap 14 coming up on 15. Down into turn 3, out of turn 4, that 19 car, John Higgins Jr. trying to get back onto the back bumper of Kyle Martin. He's got Chad Snyder in the black and purple car behind him, trying to make a move. A spectacular start to this race, especially for David Lerfano, but for a handful of drivers here, moving up super fast. As we drop back to David Herrera right there, you see the gap that Chad Snyder's been able to make for himself right in front of that 15 car. But David Herrera off to a beautiful start with all things considered. And he might have that 37 car of Charlie Dickey now barreling down. And this is what I was expecting and hoping for. Was just a very fast-paced race, a lot of speed coming through these corners. There's Charlie Dickey onto the inside. He's trying to make a move on David Herrera. Excuse me. Gaining a little bit every corner he exits, but could be beating up that front right as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. These guys that are driving 100, 110%. Just how long that can last. Here comes Patrick Mcquaid in the 77 car now. Breathing down the 37 of Charlie Dickey. Cameron Harris behind him. We saw him get into the wall there a little bit. He looked fast early on before that incident. So he's trying to regain some ground that was lost. Every time I think Dickey's going to have a run on the 15, David Herrera doing a little bit of defensive drive and closing the door on the 37 car. But here they come behind him, all bunched up. The 37, the 77 of Patrick Mcquaid. Cameron Harris behind him in the 27. Cameron really starting to ride that high side through the turns. He comes down low. There's contact, and that sends Charlie Dickey and Mcquaid into the wall right in front of, oh, and Dickey with a hard lick right there on the back stretch. And that's going to bring out our first caution at Dover. These guys started getting bunched up there. Cameron Harris looked like he was getting ready to make a really bold move. Anyways, he had so much momentum off that corner exit. Luckily to make it past there. Good drive by Cameron Harris. We saw it live. We'll go back and take a look at the replay. Anyhow, Charlie Dickey and Patrick Mcquaid caught up in this. And you see Mcquaid just getting into the back end of the 37 car. You could hear the audio there. Charlie Dickey really having to feather that accelerator. These tires are starting to wear down a little bit. He's not able to go all out there. And Patrick Mcquaid in the 77 just had a little bit of a better run than he did on the corner exit. And I don't think Patrick really expected that out of the 37 car. So he gets into the back of him. Unintentional, of course. That's a racing incident. Both cars getting punished for that and getting sent around. You see the front end damage there on Patrick Mcquaid right before we got back to this replay right here. That's from Charlie's. And now let's see it from Patrick McQuaid's angle here. He had a lot of front end damage after this. But you see just carrying so much momentum there. He tries to lift. Again, you can hear the audio there. Gets into the back end though, and there it is. There's a smack right there that caused the big damage on the front end there on Patrick Mcquaid. Also looks like Tyrone Yo Jr. crashed. I don't know if this was a bottoming out or if he's coming up a little too quick on the pack there. No, it's just bottoming out. So the 02 car, Tyrone Yo, all good. So pit stops will be made, of course. Looks like John Higgins Jr. being able to beat off David Lerfano on pit road. Beat David Lerfano off pit road. So that'll be interesting there. This is what some of these drivers up front needed. David Lerfano is really starting to run away with this race, as we've seen him do so many times in the past. Another big winner of that caution, David Herrera. Now, he had made his way from 12th to 5th, so he was already on a move himself. However, right before that caution came out, Charlie Dickey, Patrick Mcquaid, Cameron Harris, they were all making a run on the back bumper of David Herrera. So he's able to avoid that, but also gaining 2 more spots during that caution. He's going to be right up there with teammate David Lerfano on the inside of row 2. David Herrera from 12th to 3rd. Pretty early on. Chad Snyder going to be starting 4th. Kyle Martin in 5th. Couple of more pace laps as we start getting some of these drivers, including Charlie Dickey. He's going to get the wave around there. So that's one fast repair out for Patrick Mcquaid and the 37 car. So he's going to be starting at the back alongside Cameron Harris, Larry Garnes, Patrick Mcquaid going to be in that 9th spot. A really good first green flag stint there. "25 laps into this race, and I feel like it was only a matter of time. I mean, this is just such a quick track, and these next-gen cars really getting to show that off. Alrighty. Pace truck is off. Green flag to John Higgins. He can start this at his discretion. And there he goes. No drag race on the front stretch. He takes the lead. Down into turn 1. You see David Lerfano by himself in 2nd. We'll see what kind of run these guys get. Chad Snyder on the outside of David Herrera. Onto the backstretch. Will it hold? Yes, it does. David Herrera checks up behind the 26. Kyle Martin, maybe a little bit of an overdrive there. He got way up high, having to use a ton of brakes to be able to avoid drifting all the way up to that track. But able to still slingshot out of that corner exit. Now he's on the inside of David Herrera. That was a pass for 4th. Trying to make his way back up into that 3rd spot where he was earlier into the race is Kyle Martin. And he's going to keep riding that inside line. You see Chad Snyder, he gets a little bit loose there, the 99. That might open it up for David to be able to take that 4th spot back. But unfortunately, David on the outside, if Kyle can clean that up, which it looks like he is able to do, he's going to be able to maintain that 4th spot and be able to restart. But certainly losing the momentum on Chad Snyder. So he's going to have to reset here a little bit. Adam Angerstein with a nice little recovery. He's back up to P6 with that caution. Joshua Hetrick getting a little bit loose there. Cameron Harris onto the outside. The 25 of Hetrick going to stay on that inside line. But I think that's, yep, Cameron's going to have enough to be able to make the pass on the 25 car. Tyrone Yo Jr. back here in 10th. Larry Garnes 11th. Charlie Dickey after the restart back here in 12th. Fred Houle back onto the track. That's good to see. Looks like he's got his internet issues figured out. This is the 51 car of Jim Hubble. He is a lap or 2 down. Just 1 lap. So that's good for him. He can kind of just hang out. He doesn't have to worry about racing Fred Houle for the lucky dog. You see Freddie Houle multiple laps down. So Jim Hubble just needs to stay smooth and consistent, not hit the wall like he just did, and be able to, hopefully wait for this second caution that I think is going to be inevitable at this track. Back up front, though, John Higgins, not to be contested since the restart. Kyle Martin, though, with a fine drive. He's found himself up to 2nd as he's charging up towards the front. Chad Snyder on the inside of David Lerfano. He falls back in front of teammate David Herrera. That's in 4th and 5th. Kyle Martin, though, enjoying the inside line here. He's all the way up under the bumper of the 19 car. Out of turn 2, onto the backstretch. So Kyle really driving that 99 Chevrolet as hard as he can. Now John Higgins going to have to do some defensive driving here, or he might just give Kyle the run. I mean, there's no pressure, no need to really race too hard this early on into the race. Good run from Chad Snyder so far here tonight as well. Looked like he was going to fall off just a little bit, but since the restart, been able to regain and maintain that third spot. And there's Kyle Martin out of the inside of the 19. Coming out of turn 2, onto the backstretch. Can he complete the pass? They're still side by side. Down into turn 3, the 99 will complete the pass, and John Higgins getting a little bit higher than I think he wanted to. That's going to open up the door for Chad Snyder now to make a race for second place. And now the 19 stuck on the outside. David Lerfano is going to drop down behind the 26 and try to make a move. You see the 19 trying to get down, and he does just a little bit to be able to cut off the momentum of that number 8 car. Now he's right on the tail end of Chad Snyder. David Herrera and Patrick Mcquaid behind David Lerfano back in 5th and 6th. But right now, Chad Snyder making a move up to 2nd. Kyle Martin really making Dover work. Whatever he's got going on, he's almost got a 3/4 second lead on Chad Snyder. This is some of the best driving we've seen out of that 99 car. Just got to stay consistent. Can't get too excited when you're in the lead. Start over driving, hit your marks, hit your racing lines. As these laps progress, the understanding of your tires, they're just not going to be the same as they were on the restart. Taking every little thing into consideration here. Can be a nervous drive when you're up there all by yourself in first place. You don't really have anybody to gauge your speed on. You're up there just making all the decisions yourself. And right now, Kyle doing a fine job of that. John Higgins, David Lerfano still 3rd and 4th. David Herrera, Patrick Mcquaid 5th and 6th. Behind them in 7th is Adam Angerstein. 8th, Cameron Harris. Not too much of a gap there. I mean, anybody can get a really strong run through these turns here and be right up out of the back bumper of the driver in front of them. We've been seeing it here all night long. And Adam Angerstein, there it is. See, the good run through the middle of turns 1 and 2, excuse me. Lost a little bit of speed there on the backstretch. Patrick Mcquaid just so good off corner exit. Adam Angerstein, though, able to get the pass. As you see, Cameron Harris now onto the inside of Patrick Mcquaid. So Patrick off just a little bit. This is the race for the lead. Chad Snyder gets it up a little bit of Kyle Martin. That's going to bring out our second caution of the night, I would assume. Lap 44. Yep, there it is. The second caution. Chad Snyder trying to thread the needle on the inside of the 99. We're going to have to use our iRacing rewind for this one here, not popping up in the red on our iRacing live timing. But you can see this battle started just a little bit before this caution happened. Kyle Martin way up out of the track, really allowing Chad Snyder to dig down onto that inside line. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay here. See the tail end of it there. Some hard driving by those two drivers up there, racing for the lead. Kyle Martin going to come down pit road. John Higgins looks like he's going to stay out along with David Herrera as well. So I'm not too sure if maybe Kyle's just coming down pit road, see if he has any optional repairs that he needs taken care of. Chad Snyder, though, you see the damage right there. He's going to have to come down and use a fast repair. Be able to get back out there on the track, though, nice and clean and shiny. He's going to get right back into this race. No worries if you're part of that 26 camp right there of Chad Snyder. He's going to be just fine. Lap 46 out of 150 here at Dover International Speedway. This is All-American Racing League, where we run every Tuesday nights here on Faded TV. And there it is, that fast repair. Only takes about a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds for that fast repair. This track not being very wide there. And again, I've talked about it all night long, getting so much momentum off the corner exit there. The 26 right there on the inside of the 99. And it was fresh off the corner exit, too. I don't even think they had made it halfway through that backstretch there. And both cars really just trying to carry that momentum the best they can. Unfortunately, though, the contact happened, and that sent the 26 car deep into that inside wall. Now, up front, John Higgins Jr., he's going to take that lead back because Kyle Martin coming down pit road. David Herrera, he's going to move up to second. So overall, he's been able to gain 10 spots. The first handful of spots was just some really good driving. He moved up from 12th to 7th, I think. And then after that first caution, he was 5th. And now here he is after the second caution of the night, all the way up on that row 1 on the outside of the 19, up in second. Adam Angerstein also being able to recuperate a little bit. He had fallen back after that first caution quite a bit, back there around that 10th spot. He's going to be able to restart this out of the inside of row 2. In third, Joshua Hetrick moving up 5 spots, found himself up in 4th. Charlie Dickey, another driver who is had a little bit of a scare there. I mean, he was in the back of the pack here on that second caution. He's going to move all the way up into the 5th spot. This will be the highest that 37 car has been all night. He started P7, up in 5th. David Lerfano in 6th. Kyle Martin, even after pitting, he looks like he's still going to be starting in 7th. He's going to be in that 4th row, and he's going to be sharing that with Cameron Harris, that 27 car, rocking the Bubba Wallace DoorDash paint scheme. Patrick Mcquaid 9th, and it's going to be Larry Garnes moving up a spot. Going to be starting in 9th. Chad Snyder, unfortunately, we just saw the damage that happened to him. Fast repair or not, he's going to be restarting 10th. So a little bit of work to do for this Rebellion Graphics 26 car. He's going to have to pull the David Herrera and really try to make his way through this field. Behind him, you can see Tyrone Yo Jr., Jim Hubble in the Minnesota Vikings Ford Mustang GT, and Joshua Hetrick in the ORR Lawn Care 25, going to be starting 13th. So let's get back to some green flag racing. As these guys are lined back up too wide. Pace truck going to be coming down into pit road. And once again, John Higgins had the last restart. He has this one. He was very good on that first restart. We'll see how long he holds it this time. Just right out of turn 4. And he's back onto the gas all by himself down into turn 1. Adam Angerstein onto the inside of David Herrera for second. David Lerfano looks like he's going to be on the outside with that 15 as well. Cameron Harris sneaks up in between the Hillbilly Motorsports. He's in 4th. Breathing down the neck of David Herrera. Kyle Martin, though, quick to get back on pace here onto the inside of David Lerfano. He's going to take over that 5th spot as he tries to make his charge back up to the front. Check back in with Chad Snyder after that pit stop there onto the inside of the 37 car. That's a pass for 8th. Right now, though, John Higgins Jr. and Adam Angerstein running 1 and 2. We'll see if that 9 Chevrolet has anything on the 19. It looks like he does, most certainly. He's going to reach for that inside line. Onto the inside of John Higgins is Adam Angerstein, and they almost make contact as Cameron Harris is up to 3rd. Running that outside line. Kyle Martin right there in the middle. And we start getting bunched up right here. These guys are going to have to be careful here. Oh, 2 wide. We're going to go 3 wide. Nope, 19 drops down in front of the 9 car. To avoid a 3 wide, Kyle Martin enjoying that high side. What a pass. The 99 car passes the 19 for 2nd. Right now, Cameron Harris, your new race leader here at Dover. An awesome run by that 27 car there and the 99 car. And here he comes now on the inside to regain the lead. Kyle Martin. Out of turn 2 onto the backstretch down into turn 3. And right now it's the 99 show. A fabulous run by Kyle Martin. Adam Angerstein falls back to 4th. Well, actually, he's side by side with John Higgins, so John Higgins now a little bit slow after that. So Adam Angerstein moves back up to 3rd, and here comes the 77 car of Patrick Mcquaid, certainly a capable driver here at All-American Racing League, to make a charge up to the front. We'll see if his CBD MD Muffler Man 77 car can get a run. But right now, he's up into the top 5 for what could be the first time of the night. Now, teammates David Herrera and David Lerfano falling off pace just a little bit in 6th and 7th. But we've seen that from David Lerfano all season long. I think he likes to drift back a little bit in the middle of these races. By the end, I think we'll see that number 8 car make a bid for the win. Chad Snyder in 8th, Jay Hub, Jim Hubble in 9th, and Charlie Dickey running 10th. Back up front, Kyle Martin with a 1.2 plus lead over Cameron Harris. Now, we saw Kyle Martin start to drift away a little bit in that last green flag run, but not quite like this. He is on point. And unfortunately, as soon as he gets going, there's a caution. Looks like Tyrone Yo Jr. wrapped up into this one. So that's terrible if you're Kyle Martin, who was running away with this green flag run. He was almost at a 2.5-second lead over Cameron Harris. And now he's going to have to line everybody back up. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened with Tyrone Yo in the 0-2 here. Oh, and it was actually Joshua Hetrick getting a little bit loose there. And unfortunately, really nowhere for that 0-2 of Tyrone to go. And just ends up smacking right into him. So, hopefully. Okay, there he goes. Almost sounded like Tyrone's car made the noise that you hear on iRacing when the engines blow. So I got a little bit nervous there, but that wasn't the case. He's going to be able to come down pit road, use his fast repair. So we've seen a couple of fast repairs used. There you go. You see him limping out of there on the outside. He's going to be able to pass the pace truck here, come down pit road again. That usually takes about 1.5 seconds to use. So he's going to be out on the track soon. He might take tires while he's down there. Not too sure how many sets these guys brought here at Dover for 150 laps. You see Kyle there in that 5th gear, trying to save as much fuel as he can. Just coasting. Patrick Mcquaid with a good run up to 3rd. Before that caution came out, he was able to make his way around the 15 car of David Herrera. Adam Angerstein going to be starting 5th. So waiting to get back underway here in the ORR Lawn Care 150 at Dover International Speedway. Just our 3rd caution of the night. It's been some pretty aggressive racing out there. That's why I say only our 3rd. We have seen some really tight racing out of these guys here at this track, and it just looks amazing out there right now. It's only a mile long, but these guys are flying due to the banked curves here. So it looks like we'll go back at least one more time onto the front stretch here. We'll see. We should see these guys get back lined up 2 by 2. That'll indicate 1 lap to go before going green. And unless there's an extended caution, I would assume that's what we're getting ready to do. Yeah, so we're going to get ready to get back to green flag. You see and hear Kyle Martin going from 5th to 2nd. Now, we've seen both of these lines work on the restarts. We saw John Higgins do both. He's very fast on the inside line, but we saw him cruise earlier in the race to take the lead for the first time on that outside line. We'll take a look from Kyle Martin here on the inside. He's got Cameron Harris on the outside. And you see Kyle being able to shift up to the track like that. A good restart for the 99 car. Sounds like he's at about half throttle through turns 1 and 2. Back out of the gas before corner exit. Got a little bit loose there, or at least started to. He was able to maintain it, though. You see just how much work these guys are putting in on the wheel to be able to go through these turns so fast. You can see Cameron Harris back here in P2, already losing a little bit of pace to that 99 car. David Herrera back up to 3rd, though. Patrick Mcquaid dropping all the way back to 6th on that restart, and Chad Snyder finds himself back into the top 5 in 4th. John Higgins Jr. and David Lerfano. That's for 5th. See Patrick Mcquaid up there high, too. Looked like he was going to get a little bit of a run, but he had to let go of that run because he didn't want to be all the way up onto the outside by the wall there and make it 3 wide. So he falls back a little bit. John Higgins still being able to maintain that P5 status for the moment. Oh, David Lerfano getting right on the door of the 19. No contact, though. A fine line. David Lerfano driving right now. I think Higgins just backing off a little bit, allowing that 8 car to go by. Still plenty of racing left here. So I think John Higgins just playing it safe there. That got a little bit hairy. David Lerfano, though, pushing it to the limits. Trying to make his move, his inevitable move, up to the front. So not a big as lead as Kyle had the last time around. You see David Herrera right there. That's within a quarter of a second. And I think he's going to get a run on the inside line here and complete the pass on Kyle Martin, and he does. Out of the backstretch, new race leader, David Herrera. Again, another dominating season for him as well. He doesn't have as many wins as teammate David Lerfano, but like we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, that number 15 car for David Lerfano has not seen outside the top 4 as far as finishing results go all season long. Except, of course, in the Charlotte All-Star race, where he got into it with Cameron Harris and his teammate David Lerfano as well. Both HMS drivers, I think, were running second and third, if I remember correctly. In that All-Star race, Cameron Harris was fast all night, dug in on the inside, cut it a little bit close, got into the left rear panel of David Herrera, which set him up to teammate David Lerfano. So a good run from Herrera there, starting all the way back in 12th at the beginning of this race. We've been keeping you guys updated on him all night long. And David Lerfano, his teammate, back up into second as Kyle starting to fall back just a little bit. Was maybe up front running his tires just a little too hard on that steering wheel. He's going to fall back to third. Still not a bad spot to be, though. We'll see if that trend continues out of that 99 car, if he's burned up that rubber or not. John Higgins Jr., Adam Engerstein sitting 4th and 5th, and these guys are coming. Chad Snyder behind them in 6th. Oh, you see just a beautiful run by Chad Snyder there off corner exit. Not able to get down on the inside of Adam. Adam Engerstein does a good job making sure he got right down onto the bottom of that track on corner entry to be able to shut the door on Chad Snyder. Patrick Mcquaid with a little bit of a flip-flop race here. He's been as high as 3rd, and I think as far back as 9th. He currently sits in 8th as Charlie Dickey now on the inside. Oh, and Joshua Hetrick flying by the 77 car. Unfortunately, though, that was not for position for Joshua Hetrick. You see 2 laps down. Tyrone Yo 4 laps down. J-Hub and Freddie Houle both out, unfortunately. So an early exit for those guys. And Hetrick being 2 laps down, he's going to have to bank on a lot of luck here to be able to get back there on the lead lap. Of course, he's going to be eligible for the lucky dog. Both cautions, if they were to occur. I'm just throwing out a scenario there to try to be able to get his lap back because he's got the 2-lap advantage over Tyrone Yo. Kyle Martin is going to lose a little bit more ground. John Higgins, him and Kyle been fighting side by side a few times here tonight. Kyle's just going to stay up high there. Let that 19 by. Slams the door on Chad Snyder, though. You saw him get right in front of him. Oh, and almost out of the back end of the 19 car. I think Kyle's going to try to run that mid to high line as much as he can. I don't think he has the tires to go back down onto the inside. I think he burned them all up, those 2 runs that he had in first place And yeah, now you see him falling off way too much. Chad Snyder up to 4th, Kyle Martin back down to 5th. Again, lead lap, plenty of racing to go. No need to overreact if you're Kyle Martin right now. He's got his teammate, Charlie Dickey, behind him. Now, these guys are going to have to worry about this 25 car of Joshua Hetrick. He is on fresher tires. So if they're smart, they're just going to let him through. It's not for position. He's 2 laps down. So if he makes the pass on you on the inside, that's fine. Last thing you want to do is get caught getting into a battle with somebody who's a lap down. That's just what Charlie Dickey and Kyle Martin are going to do. They're going to open up that inside line for Joshua Hetrick, who has fresher tires than them, and just let him on through. So a smart decision by Charlie Dickey and Kyle Martin as Hetrick starts making his way through the field, trying to get as much pace as he can. Now, the leaders up to lap traffic. I believe that's Tyrone Yo. Yup, it is. Tyrone way up high up to the wall. He's going to let these leaders through. So a good job by Tyrone Yo, giving those guys plenty of room to make the pass onto the inside there. You see right now, though, David Lerfano and David Herrera. Here's Lerfano right here. If we go back to the 3rd place driver, John Higgins, these guys have about a half a track advantage or a quarter of a track advantage. Just assume a front stretch, really. As David Lerfano exits the turn, John Higgins is entering the turn. So quite the gap for David Lerfano and David Herrera up front. And I assume that's only going to get bigger. Lap 86 of the ORR Lawn Care 150. This is the Truckers Feed America Cup Series presented by Top Sail Trucking. We appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with us here every Tuesday night as these guys are on the back half of their schedule. This is the second to last race before round 1 of the playoffs. Next week, October 19th, we'll be at Homestead, Miami. That'll be the last race of the regular season. And as we talk about the points just a little bit, on that cutoff, Chad Snyder, Cameron Harris, John Higgins on the outside, trying to chase down Cameron and Chad in the points. But unfortunately, as good as John Higgins Jr. has been, he still finds himself 20 points behind that cutoff. Team standings, Hillbilly Motorsports up top with 119. Dark Horse Motorsports in second with 109. Assault Motorsports 101. And Beer Brothers Racing with 96, and Faded Motorsports top 5 with 91 team points. Now, this looks like some deja vu up there. The 15 car of David Herrera leading his teammate David Lerfano around the track. Of course, that ended with David Lerfano being able to make the pass on the inside of David Herrera last week at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Still 60 laps to go. So way too soon to be wondering about how the end of this race is going to end, but just something to keep an eye on. This 15 car, as happy as he was for David Lerfano, you knew he wanted that win last week at Indy. Chad Snyder, another driver, really needing a good run and a good showing. Since he got into that wreck and used his fast repair, all he's done is be able to get back up to 3rd place. So a fine drive by Chad Snyder in the 26 car so far. That's John Higgins Jr. behind him in 4th and Patrick Mcquaid in 5th. For the moment, though, Cameron Harris on the inside. That's going to be an easy pass for the 27. So that's your new top 5, Cameron Harris. And there's that run, David Lerfano. He's getting on the 15 car. You see it. I think where we sit now, I mean, David Lerfano has no problem chasing his teammate around the track. But if David Lerfano makes a mistake, or if David Herrera, makes a mistake, gets loose, Lerfano gets on the radio, hey, man, give me some room. I'm going to make the pass. Let's not race each other too hard right now. There's a lot of communication going on with those teammates right now in the front. Plus, we'll see. I mean, if we can avoid any more cautions, we'll see how green flag pit stops go for these guys. As we approach triple digits here, we still have 52 and a half laps to go. And our last caution, I believe, was way back on lap 56. I might have been closer to lap 60. Don't quote me on that. But these guys have been out there for quite a while. Looks like John Higgins Jr. in the red here. And yep, there's their fourth caution right there. As I was getting that data on my iRacing Live timing, I was wondering if that caution was going to come out, and it will. So I assume we'll see just about everybody come down pit road here. Be able to throw on some tires. Let's take a look at what happened with John Higgins Jr. Such a good run up to this point. Oh, nice job. Nice job by Cameron Harris to be able to see that and drop down low. So that's just a one-car incident there, bringing out the caution. And again, I think we'll start seeing everybody come down pit road here with just 50 laps to go. A little less with the pace laps. Joshua Hetrick, John Higgins, they're going to wait. They'll be able to come down pit road after the leaders. This is the end of pit road here. We'll see the race off of pit road. And it is that 15 car of David Herrera being able to beat his teammate out of their pit stalls. Hey, David, it's Faded in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Faded.
Hey, so almost a repeat of Indy. You and teammate David Lerfano running 1-2. Is there a lot of communication with you guys right now, or is it radio silence just focusing on up?
No, it's lap by lap. We're talking about every single lap out here. And this is a tough racetrack. These tires are very quick. But, yeah, we're working well together as a team today.
All right, man. Maybe a little bit of repeat and vendetta for the blue-gray plastic fab. David Herrera has a shot beating your teammate. Good luck, David.
Thank you, Faded.
That was David Herrera. Of course, I was referring to last week at Indy. David Herrera was leading the race for quite some time. David Lerfano was running P2. And on the last lap, on the last turn, David Herrera made the move on the inside. Or David Lerfano, excuse me. Sorry, get those two mixed up. David Lerfano makes the move on the inside of David Herrera and wins the race, leaving his teammate in shambles for P2. So you hear it there lap to lap. If they need to say something, I would assume there's not a whole lot of communication right now. I'm sure they were talking a little bit about pit strategy there towards the end of that green flag run. That was quite a bit of laps. I believe that was about 40 green flag laps there. So talking about, if they were going to have to come down under green, and but I would assume a lot of that was probably some radio silence. Both those guys just really staying as focused as possible. Now, other guys off pit road, Chad Snyder going to be third, Cameron Harris fourth, Patrick Mcquaid fifth, Kyle Martin sixth. Now, we've seen just how fast Kyle Martin can be on a fresh set of tires, but we'll see if he throws in a little bit of patience this time around, as I believe on that last green flag run, he just ran his tires down to the ground, and he lost a ton of track position. He's got his teammate Charlie Dickey, though, behind him in eighth. We'll see if these two link up and work together, try to push Kyle back up to the front. So there is the 15 of David Herrera. You see how close the 8 car of David Lerfano is. These guys, now the advantage of this is David Herrera can tell Lerfano, hey, this is when we're going to go. We're going to go on, he can either count him in, or he can say, hey, we're going to go on, this landmark out there on the track. Nonetheless, though, David Herrera with a beautiful restart there. You see Chad Snyder trying to peek onto the inside of David Lerfano. Lerfano not allowing that to happen. Ducks down low onto that inside line in front of behind teammate David Herrera. But Chad, though, still working the inside. He's got to run. And here comes Kyle Martin, who's made his way around Cameron Harris for fourth. Again, we talked about just how good that 99 is on fresh tires. And it's Chad Snyder, Kyle Martin, and Cameron Harris all on the inside of that 8 car, pushing him back all the way to fifth if Patrick Mcquaid can now follow suit on the inside. And it looks like he will. Looks like Larry Garnes, I think, was the driver that got into the wall that time around. Running that high side right there. Charlie Dickey now going to be on the inside of that 20 car. That is the pass for 7th. David Harris still your race leader, though. Chad Snyder, Kyle Martin behind him. We'll see what kind of surge these guys can get. Well, it looks like Kyle might have had to lift right there. He wasn't sure if Chad was going to go all the way down or not. Oh, Chad might have got a little bit squirrely there coming out of turn 2. We've seen that happen tonight with a couple of drivers here. That's actually going to allow David Herrera to jump out to the lead just a little bit there. You see the gap between him and the 26. Here's Kyle Martin now onto the inside. We saw these guys race side by side earlier. Chad gets pushed up the track, trying to give Kyle as much room as he possibly could. He probably could have spared himself a little bit more there, but trying to play it safe, and unfortunately gets into the wall, and that's going to drop him back all the way to 6th. Cameron Harris, Patrick Mcquaid, third and fourth right now. Seems like every race, Cameron Harris has a good run to where he's up to the front. Just needs to work on finishing a little bit. But again, we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, leading the truck series in points. Still trying to figure out these next-gen cars like a lot of people are. But every race, he's always up towards the front with a really good run. And we got another caution. Our fifth caution of the night, and that's Larry Garnes wrapped up in it. So that might be the break that Kyle Martin needed and Cameron Harris. Cameron and Patrick Mcquaid started falling off a little bit of the pace of the guys up front. So that's going to benefit them, be able to restart this. And David Lerfano as well, who went from second to fifth in a matter of 2 laps on that last restart. Let's go back and see what happened with this 20 car of Larry Garnes. Oh, just gets out of the wall there and... Oh, good job by Joshua Hetrick right there and Charlie Dickey. One went high, one went low. A fine job there by Hetrick. And believe it or not, I think Hetrick might be on the lead lap. Don't quote me on that. Oh, yeah, good job in that 25 car. I feel like the anticipation has been better tonight than any night we've seen with All-American Racing League. These guys really seeing what's going on in front of the track. We've seen a lot of one-car incidences, and at the beginning of the season, what should have been a one-car incident, we saw a lot of 2 to 3 car incidences because people just not being able to slow down or avoid the wreck. But here tonight at Dover, everybody being able to gauge the distance, slow down, move around, move high, move down low. A fine job by these drivers here tonight. What's been probably the best race of the season so far. I know I've been having a hell of a time up here at the broadcast booth. I hope everybody watching at home feels the same way. This might be the most exciting race we've had all season long. Now, of course, these drivers already coming down pit road not too long ago. So we're not going to see any green flag pit stops from these leaders. They've already came down, got their tires. I think we've only been green flag 10 laps. I'd put it there, 8 to 12. And somewhere in between. So these guys will stay out. Larry Garnes, though, he's obviously going to have to come down pit road and get some repairs done to that car there. And no, maybe I spoke too soon. I apologize. It looks like Hetrick is still a lap down. I apologize. I didn't see the overlay like you guys can. I got a couple of things going on, but he has gained that 1 lap back. So that's important. He's on. He's got 1 lap down. It looks like Larry Garnes as well. So as long as he can stay in front of Larry Garnes, who's coming off that big wreck, if we have another caution, which I think we will. I mean, we've been averaging a caution every 25, 30 laps, just about. A little bit more than that, but I think we'll see another caution. Joshua Hetrick, nothing to worry about. I think he'll get on the lead lap a little bit later in this race. And when that happens, he's going to have to be ready to go. David Herrera, your race leader. Kyle Martin in the 99 is going to be starting in second. Cameron Harris third. Patrick Mcquaid fourth. And David Lerfano going to be restarting fifth. Chad Snyder in sixth. Charlie Dickey seventh. And John Higgins Jr. was going to be in eighth. He's going to come down pit road. Maybe top off on some fuel to be able to make it to the end of this race. Maybe he's doing an early pit strategy. We'll see when the time comes, but he's the only driver to come down. And again, John Higgins Jr., He's the driver. He's 20 points back from that playoff cutoff line. Cameron Harris holds that. He's gatekeeping the playoffs right now with 154 points. John Higgins with 134. So he's certainly, with just 2 races left, and how fast Cameron Harris is right now, you see him up there in that 4th position. John Higgins certainly going to have to pull something here in these last 2 races if he's going to beat out Cameron Harris for that last playoff spot. And that's what he might be doing right now, coming down pit road, topping off fuel, and taking a chance and finish the race with what he's got. So, David Herrera, green flag is all yours. We've seen a lot of these guys wait till about right where he started it there. That was a little bit later than I think when Kyle Martin took it, but you see the 27 car of Cameron Harris on that inside line of Kyle Martin. That's going to be an easy P2 takeover for him. David Herrera, though, maintaining the lead. And here comes David Lerfano now on the inside. He's kind of been tucked out onto that outside line, which is how he fell back from 2nd to 6th the last time, making sure he gets down onto that inside line as soon as possible so that doesn't happen again. David Herrera losing the lead to Cameron Harris and falls back behind the 99 car. I'm not too sure if that was contact or not between the 99 and the 15. Let's go back and take a look. This was the pass for 2nd. Nope. All right, some fine driving by Kyle Martin there to be able to get up onto the inside of David Herrera. And, of course, looking at that replay, he passes Cameron Harris for the lead. Let's go back and take a look at that. He's just onto the inside. You see Cameron Harris, he kind of steered up to the track. I think he was going to let Kyle go. I think he knows Kyle's kind of been burning his tires. So he's going to let him go and maintain P2 right now. I don't think Cameron Harris has a problem with that. You see the gap between him and David Herrera. Herrera about a second back behind Kyle Martin. Cameron about a quarter of a second behind Kyle Martin. So these guys up front pretty much by themselves right now. There's Patrick Mcquaid. We talked about his ups and downs tonight. He's fighting for 3rd. In what has turned out to be an absolute slugfest this Tuesday at Dover. Who's going to have the last punch? And we talked about John Higgins being 20 points behind Cameron Harris for the cutoff. Cameron, though, he's not even wanting that competition. He wants to finish as high as he can so that there's no debate. He wants to protect this cutoff line as much as possible. A strong podium finish here tonight would probably do that heading into Miami. He would need a stroke of bad luck. If he can manage a 1-2-3 somewhere in there finish right now, he's going to be sitting real good, especially with John Higgins Jr. being a lap down. In fact, it looks like Higgins 2 laps down. So regardless, as long as Cameron can stay out of trouble and nothing scary happens to him, he might be able to shut the door on John Higgins Jr. here tonight at Dover for that last playoff spot. And that's right now on his mind, probably getting up and passing Kyle Martin, winning this race regardless of the point situation. Charlie Dickey, the last car on the lead lap there. You see a little bit of damage on that car. He's been through some things here tonight. Been able to maintain some good pace, though. Still on the lead lap, back in 7th. There's David Lerfano in 6th. Chad Snyder making the pass on him for 5th. And we've seen this all night. These guys getting such a good run off corner exit and dipping down onto the inside and just beating that outside car into the next corner entry. Chad Snyder with a really good run here at Dover so far. Kyle Martin back out to almost a second lead over Cameron Harris, but we've seen this before. Now, that last caution that Kyle was the leader, I mean, it was like 2.5 seconds Kyle was up there in the lead. So the last thing he wants to see is a caution at this stage right now. He's hoping we probably stay green until the end. Will he get that wish? I doubt it, but we'll see. Kyle, extremely fast here at Dover. Patrick Mcquaid showing so much consistency here tonight, starting P10. He's been all the way up to third. He finds himself in fourth right now, but that's pretty much where he's been since the early stage of this race, is that fourth, fifth, and sixth spot. So really good, consistent drive by Patrick Mcquaid. Chad Snyder been back and forth. He's led this race here for a couple of laps. Finds himself back in fifth. That'd be one of his strongest finishes if we ended the race right now. So he's looking to add on to this fifth place right now. But of course, that number 8 car of David Lerfano, it's only a matter of time before he starts making his push up to the front. Chad Snyder's going to have to be able to keep up with that 8 car when he does decide to make that move. You see David right now setting up the pass on Chad Snyder. Chad really going to have to defend that inside line if he wants to stay ahead of Lerfano. But at this point, I think if he thinks he can keep pace with David Lerfano, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't let him make the pass. Because look at the gap right there. I mean, Kyle Martin's all the way halfway through this turn right here. So the last thing you want to do is really start fighting it out for 5th and 6th. Start working together, making your way up towards the front. Right now, they're 3.5 seconds off the leader. Cameron Harris digging into that lead. Kyle Martin just got really loose off of turn 2, and that's pretty much going to give up the lead to Cameron Harris. We'll see if Kyle fights back. It looks like he is, down on the inside of turn 1 as he takes the lead back from Cameron Harris. These two guys right here have just been so fast here tonight. A little bit of a slide job there out of Kyle Martin. The infamous words of Dale Earnhardt Jr. I was going to imitate him, but I fear that I would have had the biggest voice crack of my life. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, that's too bad. $16 laps to go. Kyle Martin out with the lead in front of Cameron Harris. They're about 1.6 seconds in front of third place driver David Herrera. So right now, the last thing Kyle Martin wants to see is a caution. He's just got to concentrate, don't overdrive the car, hit your marks, and be able to take that faded TV Chevrolet to victory lane for the first time this season. But that's not going to be easy with the 27 car of Cameron Harris. I think these guys are going to duke it out before it's all said and done, too, if we stay green here. I keep looking at my timing sheet with David Lerfano back there in 5th. We've seen him off pace like this. I don't want to say off pace, but, you know, back there in that 5th, 6th spot so many times. And then at the end of the race with 10 laps to go, 5 laps to go, he finds himself up racing for the lead. So keeping my eye out in the live timing. Oh, Cameron Harris is going to take a spin. And that's not what Martin needed. With 13 laps to go, our 6th caution of the night. And it's just Cameron Harris getting into that wall, riding it a little too high. Now, lucky for him, he certainly has a fast repair left. I don't believe he's been... I don't think he's been in any incidences here tonight, so I think he has a fast repair for that DoorDash car up into the wall. One car incident. Kyle Martin still the race leader, but that gives David Herrera, Patrick Mcquaid, and David Lerfano another crack at the 99. That's a couple of times here tonight. We've seen Kyle Martin with just a very big lead, and in just a moment, caution comes out. All right, leader down pit road. These guys going to take tires for the last time here tonight. A splash of fuel so they can make it to the end. Now, I think if you're Kyle Martin, you know, this pit stop right here, it doesn't matter if you make it out in front or not, in my opinion. Just don't get a black flag. Don't give yourself a penalty, because on the green flag restart, he's been so good, so dominant. I think if he can walk out of here with a third or a fourth off of pit road, he's going to be just fine. But here he is racing for the lead, and he does beat out David Herrera. Patrick Mcquaid third, maybe Charlie Dickey fourth. Yes, Patrick Mcquaid fourth. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, I got mixed up. Joshua Hetrick showing first in my live timing. That's obviously not the case, but he is going to get his lap back. We talked about that a few moments ago. He's going to be on the lead lap now. Joshua Hetrick back in the race with about 10 to go. So it's going to be a little bit of a shootout, which honestly, I think as long as Kyle doesn't overdrive it, get too excited, make a mistake, this short run is going to benefit the 99 car. He's been so good on these short runs. Of course, if there's anybody capable of tracking him down, it is that 15 car of David Herrera. Already having a win this season. Patrick Mcquaid sneaking his way up back into that third spot. Joined the league, I believe, last season about midway through was Patrick Mcquaid, and he had a really good season last season with the current gen cars. He's been really good in the next gen, but he's still looking for his first podium, I believe, of the season. So he's right up there in third. Charlie Dickey all the way up to fourth. He's kind of been hanging out in the back. We'll see what he's got on the table here tonight. David Lerfano fifth. Of course, always dangerous to get back up front and make a run for this thing. He's got Chad Snyder on the outside of him in sixth. He's still looking for his first win of the season too. So we got a lot of players up here at the end of this race that it means so much to these guys. And Kyle Martin being a part-time driver this season, he would have to, I mean, even if he won out, you know, tonight and next week, I'm still not sure he'd make the playoffs. But it would still mean a lot for that 99 car to find victory lane here late into the season. He's going to be starting on the inside. He's going to be looking to get the jump on the 15, jump out in front of David Herrera, and then down into turn one solo. We'll see if he's able to do that on this restart. There it is, the jump. Checks up in front of the 15 and goes down into the one all by himself. David Herrera, though, not under attack yet by the 77, but I think coming down next lap into turn one, that 70, well, the 77 now right there in the middle. David on the inside. I think that's going to give David the momentum on the front stretch to be just fine for now. Everybody chasing the 99 of Kyle Martin. We have 7 laps to go at Dover. We've seen 6 cautions here tonight, both or all of them. People getting loose, hitting the walls. 1 to 2 car incidences, nothing too major. Here comes David Lerfano up the front. Patrick Mcquaid gets a little bit loose. Is he going to be able to save it? No, and Cameron Harris and Chad Snyder wrapped up into this. It's going to bring out our 7th caution. The big one here, and Patrick Mcquaid said, hold my beer. Chad Snyder, Cameron Harris wrapped up into this. As we said, you see the damage on Patrick Mcquaid. No front bumper there. Some nice 2D graphics from iRacing. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Just getting a little bit loose there. David Lerfano maybe cutting the air out of that 77 car. Oh, and Cameron Harris nowhere to go. A huge smack from the 27. There's Chad Snyder. You see Joshua Hetrick, I think, was wrapped up into that as well. Let's go back and we'll take a look at the start. Let's get Joshua Hetrick. I think he did get wrapped up into this at the end. Yes, he did. Yep, just nowhere for him to go. Cameron Harris sliding up the track there. So again, you got to be devastated if you're Kyle. You know you're so good on these short runs. You start giving yourself a little bit of that lead, and here comes the caution, and we're going to have a first attempt at a green-white checkered. You see the Hillbilly Motorsports guys running 2 and 3. There's David Lerfano poking his head out. You cannot sleep on this 8 car, I'm telling you. Late in the race. Now we'll see where some of these other guys end up. It looks like Chad Snyder's already back out on the track, but you see that front end damage right there. That's most certainly going to affect him. Charlie Dickey now out of pit road. Looks like I think he was saving a fast repair, because when we checked in on him earlier, he had quite a bit of damage on the back end and on the front end. So I think he saved the fast repair. Very smart, as it looks like it's going to play dividends, because he most certainly needed one there. Patrick Mcquaid looks like he's going to be 7th. And unfortunately, it's sad for the 25 car of Joshua Hetrick. He had just gotten back on the lead lap. I'm not sure if he has a fast repair left or not, but I don't think he does. But with the damage he has, I'd be very surprised if he did not have a meatball flag here. I mean, he's most certainly going to have to come down pit road one way or another. But just tough for Hetrick. He had fought all night long. Was 2 laps down at one point, caught a couple of breaks because of the cautions, but put himself in position to receive that lucky dog twice here tonight and be able to get back on the lead lap. And now to get wrapped up in another wreck and to see his car like that, just a tough night for the ORR Lawn Care 25 car of Joshua Hetrick. Now, can Kyle stay cool? Can he fight off a surge from David Lerfano? He's going to be in that 3rd spot. You're not too worried about the guy on the outside. I think Kyle's going to be just fine. He's going to be able to get the jump on the 15, just like we saw last restart. Check up high, get in front of him, and then be able to come down low. But that 8 car right there, so good late race. I think that's the guy he's got to worry about the most right now, is that Lucky Dog Detailing number 8 car from David Lerfano. 7th caution of the night, gonna put us into overtime. We're gonna do a green-white checkered flag. And right now, all eyes on that 99. Going to need the start of his life. And it looks like Hetrick's going to stay out. I thought that guy would have gotten a meatball flag there for sure. Apparently, it just looks worse than what it is. He's going to stay out in fourth. We'll see how that car does here in the 3 laps. Chad Snyder, right there, bottom of row 3. His car's in pretty decent shape. I think he's going to be able to get onto the inside of 25. There's Kyle Martin with a little bit of an early restart there. Good move by the 99. Checks up high. And the race is on for David Lerfano on the inside of David Herrera. Now, if Kyle wants to see these guys race, we'll see if it happens. Looks like David Lerfano is going to get the pass on his teammate. Nope, maybe not. Side by side, down the backstretch. Advantage 15. So this is what Kyle Martin wants to see. He wants to see these 2 teammates fight it out and leave him alone up front as this paid off. He's already got a half a second lead with just 2 final lap. 1 lap to go. Kyle Martin in the 99. No mistakes afforded here. As David Herrera now trying to fight off teammate David Lerfano. This is a huge race for the points lead right now. Kyle Martin, though, out of turn 4, onto the front stretch. He's going to have the 99 in victory lane. And David Lerfano does beat out David Herrera. Let's go back and take a look at that. Chad Snyder 4th with a top 5. A great job by Chad Snyder to be able to bounce back here. Here's the battle between teammates. We saw this last week, only it was for the lead. This time, David Lerfano for P2. And this was huge. These guys are 1 and 2 in points right now. Regular season championship on the line. And there you see Lerfano just on the inside. Of course, his teammate, David Herrera, affording him that room on the inside unselfishly. And there's going to be your podium right there as Kyle Martin gets his first win of the season. Again, Chad Snyder 4th. I think maybe his best finish of the season. Patrick Mcquaid, who started P10, consistent all night long as Kyle Martin begins to burn down Dover right here in front of us. Charlie Dickey in 6th, a strong finish for him. Hetrick, who had been 2 laps down, we talked about that a few moments ago, a solid P7. Cameron Harris 8th, Larry Garnes with a top 10, and Tyrone Yo Jr. in 10th. You see teammate Charlie Dickey there on the track congratulating teammate Kyle Martin. Nice job by those 2 guys. Strong finish for Charlie Dickey. Great job by Joshua Hetrick to stay out there, be able to finish P7. That's a good chunk of points right there. That number 15 car of David Herrera. David, another podium for you. I talked about it a couple of times here tonight. You have not seen outside the top 4 all season.
Man, it's been an awesome season for Hillbilly Motorsports, for myself, for my teammates. I can't complain at all. Still, my drop race is a 4th place, so I'll take that any season.
Yeah, it's going to be it looks like, and I don't want to count out Patrick Mcquaid just yet, but heading into Miami Homestead, it looks like for the regular season championship, it's going to be a battle between both Davids.
Yeah, he gained a little bit more points there on me again right at the end. We had a good little battle there last from that green-white checker. It was a lot of fun. But, he'll have a slight advantage, but we're going to try to battle back in the next couple races and try to take that thing too.
Absolutely, David. A solid P3. Congratulations. You've just been finding podiums all season long. And good luck next week at Homestead, Miami as we wrap up the regular season.
Yeah, man, thank you. And I couldn't do it without the support of blue gray plastic fabrication. Check them out at bluegrayplasticfab.com or Facebook at Blue Gray Plastic Fab. And without you broadcasting this stuff and our sponsors in Top Sale Trucking with Truckers Feed America series. Thanks, guys.
So running him down within the last couple of laps, it was deja vu all over again. What we just saw at Indianapolis, we saw here tonight, except this time, Mr. Lerfano, it wasn't for the win. It was for P2, but still, with you and teammate David Herrera battling it out for a regular season championship, you got to feel pretty good about finishing second.
Yeah, man. I mean, this place is tough. The cautions didn't really fall the way I was hoping to, and I was hoping for a longer run there at the end. I think, me and Herrera both probably could have tracked down Kyle there at the end on a longer run. It's just the green-white checker's hard when he gets a good jump like he did. So, but congrats to Kyle on the win. But yeah, I got a good run on Herrera. I think it was coming out of 2, and I ducked to the inside, and I had to stick with it. So, but no, P2, it's good. At one point I didn't think we'd even be in that position to run top 3 or anything. So that's a good night for us. Good night for HMS as a whole with David, and we'll go to Homestead and try it again.
Yeah, absolutely. That will be for the regular season championship, Homestead, Miami, next week. David Lerfano, always a player at the end of these races. Congratulations on a P2.
Thank you, buddy.
Now, the guy in the 99 car, that black and orange faded TV, Kyle Martin. Kyle, you were so fast on the short runs. I mean, there were times where you have a 2.5-second lead, but unfortunately, we saw caution after caution towards the end of that race. Able, though, to come down pit road, and I felt like even if you had come out 3rd or 4th, you still had a shot in that short run. I think that second to last caution was with about 10 laps to go. I felt pretty comfortable considering how I watched you race all last night, but were you getting nervous with all those cautions at the end?
Just a hair bit. When I was racing with Cameron at that end, and he ended up hitting the wall, I thought it was over at that moment. I was like, oh, there goes that win. Good try, boys. But you know what? Green White Checkers, I guess they fall in my favor. It was first off pit road. I got the jump. I think I would have been able to work my way up, but they were pretty tough to beat there, David and other David. they were pretty fast on the long runs. They would have gotten me and Cam at the if that race kept going.
Yeah, I felt like definitely the short run was your strength here tonight. What is it about Dover? I mean, what made you so fast on the long runs? Do you think that maybe the other drivers were just kind of banking on a long green finish and saving tires to where you were, pedal to the mat the whole way around? Or, was it practice laps, or is it just a natural feeling here at Dover?
Jumped in the practice session before the race, and I asked my good old teammate there, Charlie. He helped us out a little bit to get the win, gave me a couple positions on a restart to get me down on the bottom, thanks to him. But I asked him in the practice session, you using brake? Yeah, I'm using brake. Wait, you're using brake?
So some teammates working together there, you finishing first, him finishing 6th, which is one of his best finishes of the season as well. Kyle, it was a blast to watch all of you guys race out there tonight. I had never been to Dover personally. I never broadcast. I mean, I just bought the track before the broadcast. I didn't know what to expect. What an exciting track.
Oh, yeah, this was a really great race. I believe I did pretty well in the Gen 6 cars when we had a race back here last season. And, was able to get the job done on the part-time schedule. Thanks to you, great old sponsor on the front hood, Faded TV.
Well, I don't know about a great sponsor, but I do appreciate you guys, running these Faded TV paint schemes, and it means a lot to finally pick up that first win. Of course, when I'm up here in the broadcast booth, I'm as biased as possible. but it feels good as an owner to finally get some team points going on. And both you and Dickie did a heck of a job here tonight. And it feels so good seeing that faded CV car in victory lane for the first time. So thank you for that on a personal note, but on the professional note, all around, so fast tonight, so exciting to watch. Great job here tonight. And are you going to be finishing out the season next week at Miami?
I hope to. We'll see how my schedule of doing my random odd tasks that I have to do on Tuesday nights goes, and we'll see if I can, make a couple more races this season. I'd like to finish out the season with these guys. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, fair enough. Either way, getting the job done here tonight at Dover. Kyle Martin in the 99. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And I also like to apologize to Chad Snyder when I got into him on the front stretch. I think we were going for either first or second. My bad, man. I must have came down on you. Feel bad. I made you waste a fast repair there and lap like 40-ish. Good comeback for you, man, though.
Yeah, we saw the replay there. I think it was a little bit of both. I mean, you guys were side by side coming out of corner exit, and I think that's asking a little bit too much. This track is very thin, right? It's not a very wide track. So just a racing incident. Respect all the way around. Kyle Martin wins here at Dover Speedway. And I echo that. Chad Snyder, I mean, we talked about a couple of these drivers here at the end of the broadcast with just phenomenal finishes. I mean, Joshua Hetrick for sure, 2 laps down at one point, gets back on the lead lap, finishes in the top 10. Chad Snyder, a 4th place finish for Chad. I think, again, the best finish of his season. Patrick Mcquaid, 5th. I mean, just a phenomenal race here at Dover. I could have watched another 100 laps at this track. Just such an exciting race. Now, that's all behind us. We look forward to Homestead, Miami. That's going to be the last race of the regular season. It's going to come down to David Lerfano, David Herrera, Patrick Mcquaid, all racing for the regular season championship before heading into the playoffs. It's going to be a good one. We appreciate you guys tuning in to Faded TV, Top Sale Trucking, McConey Setup Shops. Appreciate everybody. Tune in next week as we end the regular season at Homestead.